When Eric Stark and myself were writing for the new album Far Enough, he showed me an idea that he had. He had a verse and a chorus, and he played it for me. And I said, well, wait just a minute. I want to tell you a story about a couple of friends of mine, Mike and Clark. Mike and Clark were homeless alcoholics living in the East Bottoms of Kansas City, down near Knuckleheads, which is a legendary music venue here in Kansas City, where I play occasionally. And they were living in a box there, and Clark had disappeared for a couple of days. And when he came back to the box, he had two things in his hand. He opened the box up and stuck them into Mike. It was a Bible and a gun. And he said to Mike, choose one. And that started a series of events that led those two men out of that box. They both came to faith in Jesus. And that faith worked a miraculous work in their life. With the help of AA, they were able to both overcome their addictions. And I just recently did a concert under a bridge at First and Grand Street in Kansas City, which I do frequently. And I got to thinking about this song, the song Far Enough. And I thought, I'm going to play that song. So I set it up and I introduced it, that, hey, this is a song about a couple of friends of mine who were living in a box just right down here by where we're standing. And I'd like for you to listen to it. And so they listened to the song. And then I told them the rest of the story of how Mike and Clark made a decision of faith to choose a Bible over a gun, to choose life over death. And I got all wound up because I couldn't help but think about what that moment, that one decision in that moment meant to those men's life. And it was a moment of faith, of simple faith in Jesus. The Bible tells us, and I shared this with the crowd, the Bible tells us, God actually says this. He says, I set before you today life and death. Therefore, choose life. And it's like, I love tests where they give me the answers. And I was so just moved emotionally by the moment. And I got the crowd all riled up, and I got them shouting, I choose life. I choose life. And I got to think about my friend's story. And I got to think about the power of that moment and just that simple phrase. And I hope that some of those folks that were under that bridge decided that night to carry that down inside of their heart and to actually believe that God would set before them life and death and choose life. Well, the rest of the story with Mike and Clark is that Clark became a world-renowned folk artist. He actually painted a copy of this picture, which is the album cover off of my Electric Rev album. His paintings hang in celebrity homes all over the place. And Mike moved to Nashville and became known as the Counselor of the Stars, Mike O'Neill. He had several addiction clinics there in Nashville and helped many, many music celebrities overcome their struggle with addiction. He wrote a book called The Power to Change. I'm sure you can still find that. But it all came down to a moment of faith. And those guys were both some real characters, and they had some really, really different personalities. And I love the tag on the end of the song that Eric wrote. It says this, the work in me is not complete, and my edges may be rough. How far can God's mercy reach? Far enough. He can find us wherever we are in life and reach down inside a box if he has to. But his mercy's going to reach there anyway. So I hope you enjoy the song. God bless.